Alright, the last video we did, this is a continuing video on using the CAD software, the vbCAD software inside the WinBidPro software. And we're working on an elevation that's kind of like an auto showroom door situation, where the previous video we moved the center rails of the doors over so that we can make one door bigger than the other. And now the next thing we need to do is adjust the top and bottom rails so they match up with the meeting rails. So let's go ahead and zoom in. And remember, you left click and zoom, and wherever you place your mouse, it's going to zoom as that being the center. Now we can use a feature called trim, and there's a trim feature under modify. We go to trim. What you have to do is click the member, and hopefully it'll let us click more than one member here. Let's see. We're going to go over to the right. Again, a bigger monitor is always nice when you do this. Now so first we click the thing we want to shorten, and we want to shorten the head and the glass stop. So it's going to do two things, hopefully. And then we click what we want it to shorten to. So I'm going to click this left meeting style, and we're just clicking it to select it. And to actually do something, we're going to right click on, I like to click over on the member that we're actually shortening, but somewhere in it that we're keeping, if that makes sense, because we're shortening this part, we're keeping this part. Now I want to click left click over here, and okay, now it did it for the main rail, so let's go to extents. I don't know if we can do two at once. That might be the problem. And if we want to get out of this mode right now, like we're in the trim mode, a lot of times you can just right click on the drawing. If you can't right click on the drawing, you can click down in the command line window and hit escape, and you'll see that shows a cancel down there. So escape in the command line window is like cancel, basically. So okay, so we've shortened the top rail, but now we have to shorten the glass stop. So let's do that same thing. We're going to go to modify, trim. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to click on the glass stop. Looks like it's two different segments for some reason. Usually that would be a rectangle. And then I'm going to click on the style, or I mean the meeting rail. And then I'm going to right click on over where the glass stop is, the portion I'm going to keep. And then I'm going to left click over here. And let's left click again. Yeah. Okay, so I left click on each of those lines for the glass stop. Now the problem is, you'll see the glass stop is actually going through the meeting rail, which is actually not that good. So let's click down on the command line, hit escape. That gets us out of that mode. We can try it again. Let's go to modify, trim. We're going to go through the same steps. I'm going to zoom in a little more since I'm working with a smaller line now. I'm going to select the glass stop there. This time I'm actually going to select the top rail as well. Oh no, that didn't do it. I would have had to zoom in more. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. You have to be kind of careful where you're clicking, because it might select something you don't want to select. Let's scroll up a little bit. Now the top rail should be a rectangle, and the glass stop should be a rectangle too. So let's go back to modify, trim. I'm going to click that. I'm going to click this. I'm going to zoom way in, and I'm going to click this. That's the top line for the top rail. So now we'll see how that top rail line, this part and this part, basically we want all of this to go over to the left. So I clicked all that. I'm going to click the line that I want it to go to. Then I'm going to right click over here where I want to keep it, and then I'm going to left click on this portion of the line. It worked on that one. Let's see if it works on this one. I'm going to left click on this portion of the line. Yeah. So sometimes you have to zoom in, and that's kind of what it's making me do here. Now it unselected this line, so I'm going to have to do it again. This is a little bit of a pain, and I'm going to show you a better way to do it actually, but this is something that you might want to use eventually. Let me zoom back out a little bit. Sometimes it's a combination of zooming and scrolling. So you'll notice how many steps there are. So we go to Modify, Trim. I click the line I want to trim. I click the other line that I want to trim it to. I right-click where I want to keep that line, and then I left-click where I want it to go away. And that's how we're trimming. But see, here again, notice how that line is still getting intersected by the glass stops, the glass stop line. But it looks better. If we were to escape out of this and zoom extents, you know, we're looking better from a distance, right? So instead of doing all that on this bottom part now, let's actually go and remove this whole bottom rail and the glass stop for that matter. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click. Now it won't let us do it again. If I left click on this line to try and erase it, it won't let us do it. So a good way to repeat a command is you click on the command and hit enter. So then it says repeat command erase. That's what I want to do. I click on that, left click on that, and then I right click on it and it's gone. So that's basically how we delete. Now the next thing I want to do real quick before we run out of time here is do a rectangle. Now I want to draw a rectangle, and I want to draw it to, I want to turn on a snap feature. And this snap feature here is snap to nearest. So the nearest line that I go to, I want to snap to. So I'm going to try and get to the corner I want to draw the rectangle in. And then I just scroll over and I do snap to nearest, and then it draws in a pretty good rectangle there. So, and you'll notice it's red, but we're going to go over more of the drawing lines feature in the next video, and I'll show you how to change the colors, and even when we redo these little directional arrows for which way the door is hinged, I'll show you how to do the dashes and dots and all that kind of stuff. So that's it for this video. Let's do another one.